Hello, welcome to this third part of the summary and discussion of Chinua Achebe's novel Things Fall Apart. We have already seen towards the end of the previous section, previous lecture, that in Umuofia, people gather at the ILO, whenever the community faces any great or important issue. That matter is discussed at the ILO, and the whole member of the Umuofian society participate in this discussion. And we have seen that the matter of the killing of Ezeudu, Ezeugo, who is Ogbuefi Ezeudu's wife, at the market of Ambino was decided at one such gathering at the ILO. Achebe presents another instance of another gathering at the ILO at Umuofia. This time people gather at the ILO to settle a matrimonial issue. This issue is related to a lady called Ogbuefi, MGBAFO. I repeat, MGBAFO is the name of the lady who has come back to her own home, leaving her husband's home. Her husband's name is Ozoulu, Ozowulu. I repeat, Ozowulu. And after Ogbuefi, the lady has left the husband and come back to her parental home. The husband has complained the matter that he has paid a very huge bride price, but still his bride has left him. To settle this issue, a hearing takes place, and the Igagers of the Umuofian society, they play the role of the judges. Umuofia has this robust, vibrant justice system where every issue is settled, every issue which needs to be given a good hearing is settled by the Igagers. Igagers. I repeat, Igagers are considered to be the representatives of the ancestral spirits of the 9 villages of Umuofia. That means each village of Umuofia has one Igaga representing the spirits of their forefathers. So, in Umuofia, since there are 9 villages, it is a cluster, it is a group of 9 villages. There are 9 Igagers who gather at the ILO to decide the case of Ogbuefi and Ozoulu. Igagers are masked individuals. Igagers appear wearing masks and they impersonate, they represent, they symbolize the forefathers, the spirits of their ancestors of Umuofia, and it is accepted that Igagers' suggestions are the suggestions of the forefathers of the Umuofian society. And it has also to be mentioned here that Okonkwo, the great leader of this Umuofia society, also plays the role of a Igaga. So, Okonkwo is also one of the 9 Igagers. This masked, that means wearing masks, these masked elderly persons hear the case of this husband and wife, and after discussing the whole matter, they finally pronounce judgment. They say that the husband Ezeudu would visit his in-laws, that means the parental house of Ogbuefi, and would request the in-laws to send his wife back to him. And the Ezeudu also tell the in-laws house, instructs the in-laws that they should also allow Ogbuefi to go back to her husband and restore this husband-wife relationship. This is how the justice system in Umuofia functions, and the Ezeudu play a very important role in the justice system of Umuofia. Since there is a new member in Okonkwo's household, Ikemefuna, who is asked to live with Okonkwo for 3 years, Okonkwo's wives are given the responsibility to take care of Ikemefuna. Okonkwo asks his wives to take care of Ikemefuna. Initially, Ikemefuna was very hesitant, very afraid of Okonkwo's angry nature, but gradually Ikemefuna gets adjusted to Okonkwo's household. Especially, he develops a very close relationship with Nwoye, Nwoye, Okonkwo's eldest son, and Nwoye starts considering Ikemefuna his elder brother. Ikemefuna also develops a very close relationship with Okonkwo, and Okonkwo also starts liking this boy because of Ikemefuna's hard-working nature. And Okonkwo hopes that Nwoye and his eldest son would also learn to be hard-working in the company of Ikemefuna. Ikemefuna also starts calling Okonkwo his father. All these three work very hard in the yam field. Okonkwo, Ikemefuna and Nwoye. Once when they were working in the yam field during the afternoon, suddenly locusts appear on the sky like dark clouds. Locusts, L-O-C-U-S-T-S, locusts are flying insects. And locusts, we have to know that they don't fly alone, they fly in a large numbers. So many of locusts fly together that the sky almost becomes dark. And therefore, whenever locusts appear, locusts fly, it is called the plague, P-L-A-G-U-E, plague of locusts, or swarms, as W-A-R-M-S, swarms of locusts. Because they are called plagues, because they destroy whatever vegetation, whatever grass, flowers, fruits, crops they find on their way on the ground. Locusts sit on everything and they just eat up, they just devour, D-E-V-O-E-R, devour everything and destroy everything, whatever vegetation they come across on their way. This is the kind of destructive presence locusts have whenever they appear in some area. When the Umuofian people see that locusts have arrived, they just go out with whatever bags and other or containers they have, and they just start collecting them, storing them, and some of the Umuofia people even starts eating them. They find the locusts are very tasty. So the Umuofian people store as much locusts as possible so that they can enjoy them in future. This presence of locusts, where Umuofian people are collecting them so that they can enjoy the taste of locusts, and at the same time locusts destroy all the vegetation of on the ground on their way. This dual nature of benefit and destruction of locusts, this anticipates, this foreshadows the arrival of the white man in the middle of the Igbo people in Umuofia. Because when the white people will also appear, by some of their qualities, by some of their things, they would be able to impress the Igbo people. But at the same time, they would ultimately destroy the culture and independence of the Igbo people, the Umuofian people. So the arrival of the locusts is somehow predicting, somehow anticipating the arrival of the white man in Umuofia in this novel. Somehow 3 years pass by, and the period for which Ikemefuna was asked was given to Okonkwo. And one day, the eldest person in Umuofia, Ogbuefi Ezeudu, Ogbuefi, Ogbuefi, Ogbuefi Ezeudu, Ezeudu, Ogbuefi Ezeudu visits Okonkwo and informs Okonkwo that the oracle of the hills and caves, the oracle of the shrine. So we have to remember that the oracle, the shrine of the oracle, actually the priest speaks, the priest pronounces the judgment or communicates the message on behalf of the oracle. And we have also known during the previous lecture that Chielo, Chielo, Chielo is the priest of the oracle of the caves and hills. Ogbuefi Ezeudu that day informs Okonkwo that the oracle of the hills and caves has decided that Ikemefuna has to die, Ikemefuna has to be killed. And Ogbuefi Ezeudu, the eldest person who has many titles in Umuofia, who is a very famous person, a most revered, R-E-V-E-R-E-D, means respected member of the society, he advises Okonkwo not to have anything to do with this order, not to participate in the killing of Ikemefuna, since the boy has called Okonkwo his father. Since Ikemefuna has addressed Okonkwo as his father, Ogbuefi Ezeudu asks Okonkwo not to participate in the killing of Ikemefuna. That evening, Okonkwo informs his household, Okonkwo informs the members of his household that Ikemefuna would be going home next day. All the members of the family are shocked, but they did not anticipate what would be the fate, what would happen to Ikemefuna next day. Next morning, Ikemefuna, Okonkwo and some other men of Umuofia walk through the forest towards Ambaino. We have to remember that Ikemefuna was given to Umuofia by Ambaino. So they start a long walk through the forest to Ambaino. In the middle of the deep forest, suddenly the man who were accompanying Ikemefuna and Okonkwo, the other men, they suddenly attack Ikemefuna with their machete. M-A-C-H-E-T. M-A-C-H-E-T. Machete is a kind of sword kind of thing. So with their machete, the man attack Ikemefuna. Ikemefuna runs towards Okonkwo for safety, for protection, saying, "Father, they are killing me." So at this crucial moment, at this crucial juncture, Ikemefuna, for protection and safety, for survival, runs towards Okonkwo, addressing Okonkwo as his father, saying, "Father, they are killing me." Okonkwo thought that he would appear weak, he would appear a coward at that moment if he protected Ikemefuna. And we have to also remember that Okonkwo's only obsession in life was that he should never appear a weak person, a feminine person like his father Unoka. That obsession always remains at the back of Okonkwo's mind. And therefore, when Ikemefuna came towards him running for safety, instead of protecting Ikemefuna, who had called him his father, Okonkwo gave the final blow with his machete and killed Ikemefuna, only for the reason that he should appear a strong personality, not a coward and weak personality as he thought, as Okonkwo thought, by protecting Ikemefuna. When Okonkwo returned home that evening, the other members of the household realized what has happened, and everybody was depressed and deeply shocked. And Noe, the eldest son of Okonkwo, Noe, N-W-O-Y-E, was totally devastated by this act of Okonkwo. We have to remember again that Ikemefuna has called Okonkwo father, and a father-like figure has killed a son. And this sense, this feeling has almost devastated Okonkwo. And this creates a gap between Okonkwo and Noe. Noe had already shown some amount of laziness as Unoka, but Okonkwo thought that Ikemefuna's company would change Noe. But the killing of Ikemefuna now separates Noe from Okonkwo, and Noe develops a kind of dislike for Okonkwo. When Obierika, Okonkwo's best friend, Obierika, O-B-I-E-R-I-K-A, Obierika is a character presented as if he is a contrast to, he is a foil, F-O-I-L. Foil is a character who highlights the good qualities or bad qualities of another character. So, Obierika in this novel is presented as a foil to Okonkwo. Obierika's presence highlights the bad qualities in Okonkwo's character, what is missing actually in Okonkwo's character, and in what way Okonkwo should have been reacted to every crucial moment, every moment of crisis. Obierika actually demonstrates those things. Obierika comes to Okonkwo and he is very angry because Okonkwo has participated in the killing of Ikemefuna. Obierika says that he would never have participated in the killing of his own son. He would never have participated in the killing of Ikemefuna, even if the oracle has pronounced the death of Ikemefuna. So, this is a very crucial moment in the novel, that a father-son relationship has been devastated because of Okonkwo's constant desire to look very strong, to look a man with great power. The next moment of crisis occurs when the eldest person in Umuofia, Ogbuefi Ezeudu, dies. Ogbuefi Ezeudu dies because of old age, but he was the most respected, most revered, revered person in Umuofia. And after his death, his final rite, his funeral ritual is organized, and since Ogbuefi Ezeudu was a great warrior, a great hero with some great titles in Umuofia, he was given the funeral ritual of a great warrior with drums beating, machete clanging with each other. So, one machete with clanging with another, and sparks were flying in the air, and people were dancing with the beat of the drums. They were leaping and dancing in total frenzy, in total madness. This is all done to show respect to the great man of Umuofia, Ogbuefi Ezeudu. Some of the people who have gathered there started firing their guns toward the sky. They started firing their guns as if they were offering the last salute to Ogbuefi Ezeudu. As a last salute, the people started firing their guns. Okonkwo was also present there with his own gun. Suddenly, Okonkwo's gun exploded, and the bullet, the piece of iron, accidentally hits the 16-year son of Ogbuefi Ezeudu. Ogbuefi Ezeudu, whose funeral was being observed, and this frenzy, this madness of guns shooting is done only to offer the last salute to Ogbuefi Ezeudu. In that frenzy of shooting guns, suddenly Okonkwo's gun explodes accidentally, and the bullet goes through the heart of Ogbuefi Ezeudu's 16-year son. All are shocked. The whole ritual ends with this accident, and immediately the event take a new turn, and as per the customs of Umuofia, it is decided that Okonkwo has committed a female crime. As we have seen earlier, that some of the crops are called male and some other female. Some of the stories are called male, some other females. Here we see that Okonkwo's unintentional or accidental shooting of Ogbuefi Ezeudu's 16-year son is called a female crime, because inadvertently, accidentally it has happened. So, since it is a female crime, the punishment is that Okonkwo has to leave the village. Okonkwo has to leave Umuofia for 7 years. In other words, Okonkwo has to go in exile for 7 long years as a punishment for this female crime. When this decision was informed to Okonkwo, all of them wept. But there was no other way but to follow the order of the community, to show respect to the decision of the community. At night, in the darkness of night, Okonkwo and his family left the household. Meanwhile, whatever yams were stocked in Okonkwo's barns, BARNS, in Okonkwo's household there were 3 barns, BARNS. So, whatever yams were stocked in Okonkwo's barn, all of them were shifted to Oberika's house, Oberika's barn, because Oberika was a very close friend to Okonkwo, so that the barn, Oberika's barn, could store all the yams which was there in Okonkwo's barn. So, Okonkwo's stock of barn was stored in Oberika's barn. In the morning, the villagers attacked the empty household of Okonkwo, wearing dresses in the dress of war, and puts fire and destroys the whole compound and guts the household to ashes, burns Okonkwo's household to ashes, and they demolish everything. They kill all the animals of Okonkwo and they go back. Oberika